I am sorry that I cannot share with you more about what Our Lady has been preparing us for, but I can tell you one thing. We have this our time that we are living in, and we have the time of the triumph of Our Lady's heart. And between these two times we have a bridge. And that bridge is represented by our priests. That is why, especially recently, Our Lady invites us to pray for that. Because that bridge has to be strong enough so that every one of us can cross it over. Because Our Lady said, alongside them, the priest, I will triumph. So without our priest, there is no triumph of Our Lady's heart. Because who can open the gates of heaven to us? Only priests. That is why Our Lady invites us to pray for that. Our Lady asks a prayer in our families. She says, there is nothing that can unite the family like when you pray together. And she says, parents have great responsibility in front of their children. Because parents are those who are supposed to put the seeds of faith in their children. And they can do it only if they pray together and if they attend the Holy Mass together. Because we cannot talk to our children about the importance of the Holy Mass if they don't see that it is in the first place for us. We cannot talk to them about the importance of prayer if they don't see us praying. Because children do only what they see in their home. And they should see that for their father and mother, God is in the first place, and then everything else. Do not ever forget that children see much more than we can even imagine that they can see. Let me give you an example. I always do that from my own family. When my older daughter Maria was only 2.5 years old, I did not speak to her about apparitions because I thought she's too little to understand that. But one day while she was playing with her friend in the room, I was watching over it. And then I heard this other girl saying to my daughter, you know, my mom drives a car. And as I do not drive, Maria kept quiet for a moment. And she said to her friend, a big deal? My mom talks to Our Lady every day. So without even saying a word, she comprehended. So she saw what was happening in our home. Our Lady asks, fasting, bread and water on Wednesdays and Fridays. I really love the way Americans have this typical American question. When the days of fasting are, Americans ask, can we have at least coffee? But you know, with serious expression on my face, I say, why not? Just make sure you do it early enough before Our Lady wakes up to see you. But if you never prayed the entire rosary every day so far, if you never fasted twice a week so far, I would like to recommend you to do the way Our Lady did with us. First thing she asked from us was to pray every day Creed and 7 sets of Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory be. Do not say that you have no time for that within 24 hours a day. Sometime after, she added one part of the rosary daily and to fast on Friday. Then sometime after, she added second part of the rosary daily, then even third part of the rosary daily, and to fast on Wednesday. It means means that Our Lady went step by step. And that should be an example to all of us. But because when pilgrims tell me here, when I come back home, I will pray entire rosary every day. I will fast every Wednesday and Friday. I say, do not make that promise, because you will not make it. Promise something that you know that you are capable of doing. And start slowly walking with your mother. And if you fall, she will give you her hand, she will raise you up. It is important that you desire to walk with her. Because the only thing she desires is to give us her son. We could possess anything that exists in this world. But if we do not have peace, then we possess nothing. That is why Our Lady desires that her children may walk with her in order to receive peace, to come to know her son. She's asking from us to go to Holy Confession at least once a month. Because she says there is no man on earth who doesn't have a need of a monthly confession. And if you did not do it already, as a sister, I would like to recommend you. Go to confession. Because since you already did so much for our Heavenly Mother, you left your homes, your families, you went on such a long journey, and all of that because of her love. Do even that step. Cleanse your heart. Because Our Lady says only pure heart knows how to open and how to receive the gifts. Again, this is just my sisterly advice. It is not something that you have to do. Our Lady asks Bible in our families. But when Our Lady gives a message to me, she doesn't explain that message. She gives it to me the same way as I give it to you. Same as every one of you, I also have to pray in order to understand what God desires for me. Those of you who have been following these messages in every second of the month, you could notice that they are very long. And I can remember them word by word only within a few minutes right after the apparition. That is why I always have Mickey next to me with notebook and pen. So as soon as Our Lady leaves, I dictate a message, and then I go to my room to pray. And when I start to pray, I need a message in a written form, because after I cannot repeat it word by word. I know what she spoke about, but I cannot repeat exactly the way she said. It is the same way when Our Lady says, bring back the Bible into your families. I believe that we all have a Bible. But Our Lady desires a simple thing. To open it every day. To read a few lines, doesn't matter how much. But that the Bible is present. And not just to have it at a certain spot in our home to say, yes, we do have it, but we'll never touch it. And Our Lady says, in the Bible are all the answers that we need. This will be what I personally consider as the most important. What I have to say to pilgrims. And now it's your time. What I did not say, and you might be interested in, go on and ask. And if I know with all my heart, I will answer. Huh? Here? What's that?
I was wondering if the 6 missionaries ever have time when they're just alone with each other to talk with each other
before the apparitions, we missionaries were not friends. We didn't even know each other. I knew Ivanka, Vicka so-so, Maria and Ivan I didn't even know. And unfortunately, Yakov is my cousin because you can't choose your relatives. But he was much younger, so that I didn't have any relation with him. I remember one time late Father Slavko came to my home. I believe that you all remember Father Slavko. That is a priest you can see on the photo here. He died on the Cross Hill. He was my husband's uncle, Mirjana says. So he was coming to our home very often. And he lived profoundly Our Lady's messages. So this time when he came, he was angry. And it was strange for me to see Father Slavko angry. I said, what happened? He said, how can you ask me something like this? If I, Father Slavko Barbaric, were Our Lady, I would never choose 6 of you. And the sign for me that she's truly here is the fact that she chose 6 of you. Because only she could do something like that. Because for about 6 months he tried to gather all 6 of us with him, and he didn't succeed. We do meet, but very rarely, when we talk about the missions that we have. Yes? What kind of mission does she have? You were not listening to me. Pray for unbelievers. Vince Kanyako, pray for the sick.
And tell her sorry about me trying to touch
You
her
tell her.
doll.
You
Yeah,
tell
I
her.
tried to touch her doll. I think she was over there, that house over there.
Please don't talk to me. Talk to me. She understands.
Oh, sorry about your dog over there. I just have her over there next door and have her dog.
Why not? Play whatever you want.
Dogs love to play. Okay? Yes.
Hi, I am Stella Romero from Chicago, Illinois. If you will remember, like some 2010, we were in your basement, you talked to us, and I asked you that next time you see Mom Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mother, that you tell her that I love her. Remember that? Okay. I still remember what I asked of you. But and in front of everybody, I would like you to know that right in front of my eyes, my husband took the Blessed Virgin Mary's apparition to us. You will remember the moment of silence during the apparition at 9 o'clock on the 21st. That's when I saw the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Good. Can we just focus on asking questions? Because if we go on with experiences and sharing, it will go forever. So Mirjana is here with us. Let us take advantage of this time. If you have a question, please.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. I saw Mama Mary on the 21st so bright, so white, and so beautiful.
What's the question?
The question is, no question, but I was just...
Please, let us have questions. Okay, thank you for sharing, but... Okay.
I want Mama Mary to know that.
Okay, please. Sure.
Thank you. She knows. She knows.
She knows that you love her. What is your coming here but that? You all who came. You didn't come because you don't love Our Lady. You came because you love her. And she invited you because she loves you.
Yeah, right. That I know.
Yes, sister.
Do you have some insight into Protestants have a Bible that is different than the Catholic Bible. Are there any thoughts about that? They say these books don't belong in the Bible.
I have our Catholic Bible. And when I'm angry, I read Old Testament. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We have to joke, come on. Because if you want to be the example of God's love, you have to have a smile. And you have to know how to joke. Not always those serious, worried, sad faces. We have to show the joy of God. And I will sincerely tell you, I personally read only New Testament. Yes, Father. During the apparition, do you Mirjana see her or you just hear the voice? Both. I always knew it. But we had so many doctors who tested it. Would put the electrodes all over our body. They even put me on a lying detector with all these electrodes all over me. As in CSI movies. And then they hypnotized me. And under hypnosis they brought me back to the moment of the apparition. As it took 3 days, but their conclusion was that in front of my eyes there is something beautiful and supernatural. Because the way my body was reacting, a normal body would not be able to react like that and still be alive. But doctors cannot say whether I see Our Lady, Jesus, angels, or God, but that it is beautiful and supernatural. Yes? Yes?
When you have this apparition, when you talk to you can this talk to saying that there can be more people have this apparition. You have a personal conversation.
If more people can have apparitions,
Yeah.
to ask her, look, even if I see Our Lady for 100 years, I always know she's Mother of God. And I'm just one who is walking on this earth. And I cannot ask her whatever I want. Because it is not me who leads our conversation. It is her. And I feel within myself what I may and what I may not ask her. So that I cannot ask her, Our Lady, why don't all the people see you? Especially because it is much more important to see Our Lady with your heart than with your eyes. Because I met people who saw Our Lady with their eyes, but they did not comprehend anything. If the heart does not look, everything is in vain. And all of you, if you want it, you can see Our Lady with your heart. Yes.
How old are your children now?
How old are your children now? 23 and 20. Yes.
We've heard about Ishmael accepting suffering from Our Lady in the past. Can I ask you the back issues that you're suffering right now? Is that requested or is it just a natural occurrence?
I would like to clarify this. Neither Ritska accepted the suffering, nor I accepted suffering. We did accept, when it happened. Those are normal things that every person may be affected by. Who here among us doesn't have a cross? And if, for example, a visionary is sick, visionary accepted suffering. And what is the way out? I only pray to Our Lady never to leave me alone. For example, now 2nd of July is coming closer, and I'm supposed to go to the Blue Cross. Because of all the pilgrims who will be here, I can do it even in my room. But how can I know? How can I not to share this joy with all the pilgrims? And that bothers me. Because now in this condition, I have a hard time to make 10 steps. And now it's kind of overburdened me. But last night while I was praying, I said to Our Lady like this: why do I worry about that? If that is not important for you, then what can I do? You make it so that I can reach the Blue Cross. That is why when people emphasize the suffering of a visionary, there are people who suffer 100-fold more. For example, one day I was at church with Jakov, and one Italian priest, completely worried, approached us. He said, "How is Vicka?" Jakov looked at him and said, "She passed away." And this priest said, "Oh." I was shocked. He said, "Jakov, go on and tell him that she did not pass away." He said, "Hold on, how long she is sick?" As they say, she should die until now. Thanks be to God, she doesn't have any terminal disease. No, any terrible disease. Normal as every other person. Woman who is 50 years old. Yes.
Hell and purgatory was revealed to you. Did the images stay with you for a while?
First of all, to say, Vicka for St. Anthony, she came by foot from St. Anthony Shrine for hours, 13 kilometers. Can a sick person do that? I did not see heaven, purgatory, and hell. Those were Vicka and Jakov. That was at the very beginning of the apparitions. When police took us visionaries away from Medjugorje, only Vicka and Jakov remained. So when Our Lady appeared, she came only to two of them. And she said to them, "Now I will take you with me." They thought they were going to die because they go with Our Lady. Jakov was only 9 years old. And he said, "Our Lady, take Vicka, she has many brothers and sisters, I'm the only one in the family." Our Lady smiled and she said, "No, I just want to show you that heaven, purgatory, and hell do exist. But I think when I am with Our Lady, that will be the feeling of heaven. Because when you have no other desires." People ask me, did I touch Our Lady? Did she touch me? No, never. But when she's looking at you, you have a feeling that you're loved, that you're taken care of, that you're important. I think that is the feeling of heaven. For example, every mother will understand me. I'm a mother of 2 daughters. And as every other mother, I would give my life for them. But when I am with Our Lady, they do not exist. I do not even remember my children during those moments. I just want to be with her and that she may stay with me. That is why I think that is heaven. When you do not remember not even your own children. Yes.
The images that we see of Our Lady that are clear peace, is that what y'all see?
The images that we see of Our Lady, is that the way they see her? Many times we described Our Lady, and many people tried. But I have never seen any statue or painting that would even be close to look alike to Our Lady. They're just beautiful paintings, beautiful statues, but that's not this. I think it's impossible. Because that is something that is shining out of her. So at that time, as children, we asked her a childish question. We said, how is it possible that you are so beautiful? She smiled and she replied, I'm beautiful because I love. Good. And if you want to be that beautiful, then love. During that apparition, again, Janko was only 9.5 years old. So when Our Lady left, he said to the rest of us visionaries, I think she wasn't saying the truth. We all started shouting at him like, how do you dare to say that Our Lady is not saying the truth? With his innocent childish eyes, he looked at us and he said, look at us visionaries. Some of us can live until the end of our lives, but we'll never be as beautiful as she says. He didn't understand what kind of beauty Our Lady spoke. Even now, he doesn't understand many things. There's no more hope.